Welcome to the channel, and today I'm gonna be doing how would I make a Scream 5. Now, I made a video on how I would remake Scream. If you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. But this is how I would make a Scream 5. Now, I may did a video on this, I don't remember, but if I did, I did. But Scream 5, how would I do a Scream 5? Well, number one, if you do a Scream 5, you gotta do a Scream 6. Two reasons. If you do a Scream 5, you need to do a 6. Two reasons. The way 4 left off, there's a lot of story still left in this franchise, and there's still a lot of juice. So if you have a franchise that still has a ways to go, you just can't end it on the 5th one. You just can't. Now, what would I do with the 5th one? To me, I want a Scream 5, but I really don't know what to do with a Scream 5, because either you bring back of course you bring back the original cast, but do you focus on them, or do you bring in new characters like we did in Scream 4? But that's the thing, we've seen that in Scream 4. So what else can you do that's new? You know, I'm what I think would be interesting. Just do what was done in Scream 4, but with a twist and something that's a little different. Maybe that's just the way to do it. And still, Scream 4 still focused on Cindy. So maybe not have back and forth. Like how Scream 4, like, you saw both sides of these new characters, these old characters. So maybe, like, focus on Cindy and Dewey this time around instead of focus on new characters and old characters. But with that being said, in my Scream 5, someone's going to die. Now, someone is going to die. Now, who's going to die? It's going to be a main character. I'm going to point that out right now. And who would I kill off in Scream 5? It may make people angry, but, and I know we're not dealing like with the Halloween franchise, but I mean, I'm gonna kill Sandy Prescott off. If you asked me who would I kill off in Scream 5 2 years ago, I would say, oh yeah, Dewey. Of course, Dewey. Then I thought, well, I should kill the whole cast off. Joke. But for me, it would have to be Cindy. Because again, Ghostface is not a character like Michael. You see what I'm getting at. Ghostface is not a character like Michael. Ghostface has many killers, many identities under the mask. So you kind of have to go with that. With that being said, killing Cindy off, she needs a proper send-off. That's probably the best way I can describe it. She needs a proper send-off, and why not have her go out with one of these killers? Why not? It could be something that's pretty cool, I think. Her going out with this character. But the problem that runs in with that, people will be so mad if you kill her off, but that's the thing you run into. We've seen Cindy. Yes, Cindy wasn't a big focus in Scream 4, but she's going to need to be a big focus in Scream 5. We've seen her focus and how she came to be, because in Scream 1, she was just this scared girl that was facing this monster. Then in Scream 2, she knew what she was dealing with. In Scream 3, she kind of didn't know, but she knew. You know what I mean? Then in Scream 4, she was more powerful and more engaged. She was like, you know what, Ghostface? I'm ready. Let's get this over with. I dealt with this too many times. You know what I mean? So, with her being in Scream 5, I can just see her, like, sacrificing herself to the killer. Maybe for Dewey or Gale. I just see that happening. But that's getting that out the way. That's part of my Scream 5 story, my pitch, that I would bring in new characters, more so no names this time, and focus more on the new characters. And more so focus on the new characters and kind of have a passing of the torch. Like one of the girls, like like one of the main girls that's in my Scream 5 ideal is um she's like Cindy. Like she's like Cindy from the first um she's very much like Cindy from the first film. She's very much like Cindy, and Cindy comes attached to this girl, and Cindy starts telling her about the lore of Ghostface and all these killers, and maybe even try to say that the town has a secret, and the town try to cover up the murders of the second film. I've always wanted that in a Scream film. The town kind of having a secret, and maybe that secret is maybe the town try to cover up what happened in Scream 4 and Scream 2 because it was so brutal. They just covered it all up. And the town is trying to cover up all these murders, and Cindy tells this girl that. And this girl, she's the past, the torch. She's someone you want to follow in 6. And that's the thing too. That's one reason why I want focus on two. That's one reason why I want focus. Get my words twisted. That's one big reason why I will not focus too much on Cindy or Gail or Dewey, because you need to get attached to this new girl, this new character, this new group, because they're your new people. They're the you need to get no names. Maybe the new girl, she be like a big name, but maybe that'd be it. But you do need to write her as a character like Cindy, a character that you can get attached to, or like that's the new final girl. And the kills, I would have new kills, new creative kills. I have new kills, new ways Ghostface can kill. He's always not going to kill with his iconic dagger or hunting knife or buck knife. He's not always going to use that. Like, he'll use some type of other objects. There's going to be unique kills, creative kills, more gore. The gore's going to be amped up to about 20. And that's what I would do with that. Of course, I would have the original voice of Ghostface. I would, of course, have him return. But why I would say Scream, why would you do, can't talk to it, but why would you need to do a Scream 6 as well? Because Scream 5, again, if you do a Scream 5, you need to do a 6, because Scream 5, especially if you bring in new characters, if you kill off Cindy, that gives the new girl motivation to go after whoever the new killer is in 6, and even have more of a focus on Dewey in 6. We've never really seen a Scream that really focus on a new character and an old character. You see what I'm saying? Where Scream 6 would focus on Dewey and this new girl, and Dewey tries to protect her. Very much reminiscent of Scream 1. So I do think that's how I would do my Scream 5, is just have a new story, a new tale, kind of soft rebooted, but I'm not saying ignore anything. I'm just saying, bringing new characters in into new elements. That's a soft reboot to me. That's what I consider a soft reboot. But bringing new characters, bring in some new lore, give the town a new secret, new creative kills, more gore. Cindy will be killed off in this one. Find a director that would love and would honor what Wes Craven left off. And I would have Kevin Williams come back. Like, if Kevin Williams wants to come back, get him. But if he doesn't want to come back, okay, well, that throws something. That's a hurdle you would have to jump over. But then you would find probably somebody that can write Scream and direct it as well. So I do think the Scream 5 needs to happen because of the way Scream 4 left off, because Wes Craven wanted to do a 5 and a 6. And 2, he never really said if he wanted to do a 7 and 8, so just do 5 and 6 as the last ones, let the franchise sit 2 or 3 years, then reboot it. Because again, these characters need a proper send-off, and that's where the way to do it. And again, and I would really love to see this ideal in a Scream film. We've never really seen that. Usually in every Scream film, what is it? Different killer under the mask. Scream 6 ain't the case. What happens is, in Scream 5, you think the killer's dead. Like, and again, Scream, like, really does buy off and poke at other horror films and other horror tropes. So what if that's the case in Scream 5? You know, you think the killer's dead, but they don't find the body, they don't find anything. But you thinking, oh, he's got to be dead, right? But again, you saw the way he got killed. It kind of looked off. The way he got killed. They didn't find the body. Leads into something else. 6, this guy who's donning the mask, let's call him John or whoever, John does come back as, Ghostface in part 6. But in part 6, it will be more of an angry, vicious Ghostface. Like, he wants revenge. But so does the new girl that we got introduced in 5 that I would have came up with. This new girl, she wants revenge for this killer killing Cindy, and Dewey wants revenge as well. And this killer wants revenge because they try to kill him, So I really want that in a Scream 5 leading into a Scream 6. Scream 5, I think it needs new twist, a new story, a batch of new characters, not focus on Cindy that much or that group. Killing Cindy off, unique kills, creative kills, a lot of gore. Maybe, of course, have the iconic white mask, and maybe do something a little different with it, maybe add some aging to it. Will that make people mad? Of course, but, it is what it is. And then, don't kill the killer, don't put the killer in jail. Maybe you could put the killer in jail and he escapes, but then that's kind of cliche that he escapes. So, and again, that's what I would do, is just have a new twist, and that, we've really never had that in a Scream, a returning killer. We really never had that, a returning killer in the Scream franchise. We really never had that. So bringing that back, bring that to the table, have a Scream 5 that feels like a Scream 1 because of this new girl and this new group of characters, really taking it back to the basics, but you giving us a new story, a new twist, and that twist is at the end the killer is not dead. The same killer will return in 6. And in Scream 6, you're also going to find out that there was a helper in Scream 5. That helper that was in Scream 5 kind of was like a helper of setting up stuff. That was the Ghostface was doing some of the calls. You see what I'm saying? Boom. Scream 5 hit you with this twist. Now my Scream 5, will hit you with this twist. And my Scream 6 will hit you with another twist that we end off this series. I think that's really the way to do a Scream 5, is just bringing something new to the table with new elements, but also respecting what Wes did and what Wes wanted to do with this franchise. So if you did enjoy the video, give me a big thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please turn on post notifications. Please share the video. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with me?